Welcome to Babylon, one of the greatest empires in history, filled with wealth, power, and glory. But amid its splendor, it was also a place where the faith of three young men was tested to the extreme. Today, we're looking at the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who faced a terrifying decision: obey the king or stay true to God. After the conquest of Jerusalem, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon took many Israelites captive, bringing the best and brightest to serve in his court. Among them were three faithful young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were selected for their wisdom, strength, and loyalty, and served in positions of honor. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar ordered the construction of a colossal golden statue, over 90 feet high. This wasn't just a statue, it was a symbol of his power and a test of loyalty. The king decreed that whenever the music sounded, everyone must bow down and worship it. Refusing to do so would mean death in a blazing furnace. The statue was erected on the plains of Dura, visible from miles away. This was a public challenge. To bow down to the statue was to swear allegiance not only to the king but also to the gods of Babylon. As the decree echoed throughout Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego faced a difficult choice. Bowing to the statue would go against their faith and loyalty to God. But refusal would mean facing the fury of the king, and death in a fiery furnace. Shadrach said, "We know that our God has commanded us not to worship idols. To bow to this statue would be to turn our backs on him." Meshach: "Even though we serve the king, we can't obey this command. God alone is worthy of our worship." And Abednego lastly said, "If we face the furnace, we will trust in God. We know He is with us, no matter what." When the music sounded, everyone fell to their knees, bowing before the golden image, everyone except for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They stood firm, defying the king's decree. Their actions did not go unnoticed. Some of the king's advisors, jealous of the positions held by these three, saw this as their chance to report them to the king. Furious, the king called for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be brought before him. They were given one last chance to bow down and worship the statue or face immediate execution in the furnace. Nebuchadnezzar: "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you refuse to serve my gods or worship the golden image? If you bow down when the music plays, I will spare you. But if not, you will be thrown into the furnace. And what God can deliver you from my hand?" With courage that could only come from their faith, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego gave the king their answer. Shadrach: "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter." Meshach: "If we are thrown into the furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it." Abednego: "But even if he does not, we want you to know, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image." Nebuchadnezzar's fury boiled over. He commanded the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than normal, and ordered some of his strongest soldiers to bind the 3 men and throw them into the flames. The fire was so fierce that even the soldiers who took them to the furnace were killed by the flames. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell, bound, into the furnace. But as they lay in the furnace, an incredible miracle happened. Instead of being consumed by the flames, they were walking freely in the fire, unharmed. And they were not alone, a 4th figure appeared with them, a figure with a divine presence. Nebuchadnezzar: "Didn't we throw 3 men, bound, into the fire? But look! I see 4 men, unbound, walking in the flames, and the 4th looks like a son of the god." Amazed and humbled, Nebuchadnezzar called out to the men, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out." The 3 men emerged from the flames untouched. Not a hair on their heads was singed, their clothing was not burned, and there was not even the smell of smoke on them. In that moment, Nebuchadnezzar recognized that the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was unlike any other. He made a proclamation to all of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar as aid to the people. Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied my command, willing to give up their lives rather than serve any god except their own. Therefore, I decree that no one may speak against the God of these men, for no other God can save in this way. Through their faith and courage, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego not only survived the flames but showed all of Babylon the power of the Most High God. They trusted God, knowing He was able to save them, and He did. And because of their faithfulness, even a king who worshipped idols came to see the power of God. Thank you for joining us in exploring this powerful story of faith. May the courage of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego inspire us all to stand firm in our beliefs, no matter the cost. Please like, share and subscribe. See you next time for more amazing stories from the Bible.